Mark, they say after a defeat that a team wants a game quickly to try and put things right. Is that the way you see it ahead of tomorrow night's game at Tannadice?
Yeah, but I think that there is a game. That is a fact. We have to face it. I think Saturday was a huge disappointment. Recent results have been disappointing, but Saturday was different. Saturday was, the performance was really, abject. There was nothing in the performance at all, really, that I can say, was very positive about it. I thought the goalkeeper played brilliantly, but apart from that, there really wasn't a lot else. The best thing to do is, to get back out there, to show that we've got the bottle to face that, to take it on. A very difficult game and a very important game, but I think that we came in yesterday, we've trained today, we'll train tomorrow before the game, and then we'll go up there, and I think by the time we get there we'll have Saturday out our system. So it's then up to the lads that are selected to roll up their sleeves, to be determined, and to show the supporters more than anything that Saturday, regardless of other results and disappointing results in previous games, that Saturday was a blip in terms of performance.
Is that the only method you think to try and get back onto track? Is working hard? Confidence is down. Is that the only solution?
Yeah, I think that we've got to give them answers. We've got to, as coaches and as a manager, what I've got to do is I've got to give them a rationale as to why they believe they can go through that door at Tannadice on Tuesday night and win the game. We can't just leave it to chance. We can't just hope that they think that. We've got to give them, information. We've got to show them ways of playing, and we've got to show them the way that they play, and we've got to approach it in a way that makes the players believe, actually, regardless of what happened on Saturday, we have the players, we have the way of playing, and we have the ability to go and win the game. Keith
Lasley was struggling on Saturday with an injury all week he'd had in training. Not your problems to seek with Stephen Pearson suspended as well. It's going to force you to change it up again. It's unfortunate blow to missing Piero.
Yeah, well, Piero was like the rest of us, was really poor on Saturday. So, who can say, what happened anyway? But the fact is, Piero is out. He's been terrific in recent weeks, and he's been getting goals as well this season. So there's no doubt we'll miss him, but at his best. But we have to live with that. And the fact is that Lass has had another couple of days to recover. And we'll give him till tomorrow to see how he feels before we make that decision. But he's a very experienced player. He's a captain, and he's a big influence on all the players in that dressing room, and particularly obviously on the pitch. So we could do him being 100%.
Saying that, depending on what happens with Keith Lasley, hopefully he will make it. Even if he does it still give him or somebody else an opportunity to stake a claim, to try and get themselves into your regular start order?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that the way it is at the moment, anyone who plays well is likely to be in the team. I think that this Saturday was a game where really there weren't a lot that took much credit, and therefore, we can pick any 11 or certainly 10, from the squad, because no one can say that they've absolutely earned the right to be in the starting lineup. So whoever goes out on Tuesday night and plays well and wins the game for us will have a claim to be in the team for the next game, and that's the way they've got to look at it. If they want to play in the team, they've got to play well, and they've got to win his games, and they'll be in the team.
What do you make of United? 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think everybody thought, or certainly a lot of people thought, that they were maybe doomed to relegation, but they've a victory at Kilmarnock and a couple of points here and there elsewhere, and they're probably starting to look up the way now.
Yeah, well, I think they would have saw Saturday's result as probably a good result for them, because it draws us back into it. They've got us to play, and they'll be rolling their sleeves up for that. They realise what a massive game it is. I mean, it's one of those games literally is a 6-pointer, in that sense that if we were to win the game, then I think that Dundee United, regardless of whether we finish second bottom or third bottom, Dundee United will find it very difficult to catch either of us or Kilmarnock, but if Dundee United were to beat us, then I think they would bring themselves back in with a chance of getting themselves above both of us. So I think it's a huge game for the three clubs really, and Kilmarnock I'm sure will be looking in it with interest.
You mentioned that though. Let's talk about positive. A victory for your side, and you can jump to 8th, which is incredible, and I think 3 or 4 points off the top 6. So it just shows you, still, despite us being on a bad run, that everything's still very tight in there.
Yeah, but I think 6th or 8th or whatever, in terms of points above, the fact is we'll still only be a point or two above that area, and that's where we've got to look. Until we've climbed ourselves out of that area and got ourselves out of that sort of trouble, then I don't think we worry about what's happening above us.
What's the team news for the game? Obviously, we've talked about Pearson being suspended. Is anybody else under the weather or feeling the effects of Saturday?
No, everyone's okay. Licking their wounds, obviously, mentally and physically, but they've all declared this morning. Laz is trained, and we'll see how he reacts to that tomorrow before we make the decision. But apart from Piero, we've more or less got a clean bill of health.